Good morning, good afternoon, good whatever. Welcome to another Facebook Live. Just to remind you, we do this every Wednesday at 3 p.m. UK time. What we normally do, we give a training session, because our sole aim is to help you generate more leads, make more placements, and with fewer headaches, and grow your business. But today's a little bit special. We've got a special guest, Michelle, and I'm going to hand over to Michelle shortly. She's the conference chair for a big conference that's coming up that we're really excited about. We're speaking at ourselves, and we just wanted to get Michelle on to tell us a bit more about it and to share it with you. So without further ado, welcome and thank you for joining us, Michelle. And please pronounce your surname correctly so I get it right. Nothing else, please, Michelle.
Its last name is Tassinari, so it's Michelle Tassinari, and I'm one of those people. Just call me. It doesn't matter if you get the name right. Just call me.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining. As I said, we've asked you along today about this big conference coming up. Before we get into the conference, just give us a bit get my words out. Background about you, who you are, what you do, and then tell us a bit about the conference that we're so looking forward to.
Sure. Well, I am actually a recruiting firm owner myself. We initially started off back in over 17 years ago, opening our firm. I'd been in the corporate world and opened my firm, and I got involved immediately in staffing organization. We're in California, so it's a California Staffing Professionals, and it's one of those things that you get really involved, and you start to be exposed to all these great thought leaders, and going to conferences and learning a lot of different things. I just became it just became like a second part of my life to help me grow, and it did. It helped my business grow. And I shared with you, Terry, I'm a big fan of yours. I became acquainted with you through all of the different learning experiences I had. I was growing my business, and I've learned that if you want to keep growing, if you want to keep on top of things, if you want to survive, if you want to do better than survive, you want to thrive, you have to continuously learn and try new things.
Yeah, that's
been the key. You know, we've been through several recessions, the Great Recession, and now, of course, this fun pandemic that we've been dealing with. So if we didn't have that community and all the associations we've been involved in, I just don't know where we would be. I jumped all in with associations as I've been building my business. And we focus on leading edge technologies, and most of our business has been referral, and also referral through working with networking in the associations we engage with.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So your business, where's your business based, Michelle?
We're based in Irvine, California.
Irvine, California. Excellent. Excellent. And you joined the California Staffing Professionals. And how long have you been involved with them?
Over 17 years. I mean, I joined it right away.
Okay. Excellent.
Oh, yes.
Excellent.
Yes. I knew a lot about recruiting, but I was not from the recruiting industry. I was from corporate.
Right. Yeah.
And so sometimes people think they know something. That's the thing. The worst thing you can do, right, is think you know something, and then you get your plate handed to you because you have a lot to learn. And and it is through learning through thought leaders and people who've been there, done that, and shared their successes that you learn faster if you actually listen. You make less mistakes.
And there's also the theory. There's a great book, Drew, if you remember the title. Growth Mindset. It's well worth reading, where there's numerous studies about individuals that have a growth mindset. They're acknowledged at some level they don't know it all, but they want to learn as much as possible. They tend to achieve more than those that kind of sit there saying, "What can you teach me?" sort of type attitude. So it's always going to stand you in good stead. So big conference coming up. Yeah, tell us a bit about the conference that's coming up, and tell us about it, when it is, and let's hear more about that, please, Michelle.
We have our first. We have an annual conference that is a very important event for CSP, where people come from all over. I mean, most of it is California folks, but it's usually in person. And last year, because of the pandemic, we had to shut it down. We couldn't do the conference. So the first time ever we were dark. This year we decided no matter what, we are going to do conference. So,
good for you.
You know, now it feels like things are opening up, but it's not for everybody. And people are afraid to go. Some people are afraid to go. Some of the lawyers are telling people don't send your employees. So we're really glad we did this. This conference is stacked with so much content, so many great thought leaders like you. The dates are June 8th through the 18th, and that's not all 7 days. It's little bits every day so that people can do their work, attend conference. You can attend conference fully because you can carve out a couple hours every day to go to the live events and then go back to your desk and then keep going and keep going. That's the way we designed it. Now it starts tomorrow. We have a kickoff. It's a party. It's an important party because you can kind of get online and see how everything works and meet some of the people that will come. Some people will come to the party. Some people just want to be all business, and that starts on Friday. And so that it starts on Friday. It's 9 a.m. Pacific. That's live, where we start off with keynote speaker Danny Cahill, and he's going to talk about how COVID helped us in a lot of ways get better, stronger, faster, because our theme is better, stronger, faster. We learned we have to get better. We learned we have to get stronger, and we learned we have to get faster at how we do things because everything has moved to this venue, right? Everything has moved to the internet and virtual. That doesn't mean we're not going to continue to be in person. It's just we have to engage, we have to adapt. And that's what this conference is about. I mean, of course, we want to go back to normal, right? This is not a push to let's just stay here. Let's just do this forever. It's so that we can maximize what we learned. And then and we've got a whole group of all these thought leaders like yourself, because you're speaking as well. We were so excited, Terry, to have you talk about how to run a $1 million plus desk. And I know that this conference is going to bring more value than your typical conference would in so many ways, because the reality is that when someone comes to a regular conference, they go and have a good time. They might have a really good time. They come back the next day to the keynote or wherever in the morning, they have a hangover, maybe. And they're socializing and they're having a good time. So they remember having a good time and they take maybe a book or something back with them. But then when they get home and their desk is flying, papers everywhere, phone calls, texts, how much do you actually deploy when you get back to a conference? And it's hard. I've done it myself. I've made pledges. Oh, this is great. I am so inspired. And then I don't deploy everything. What was it they said? Oh my goodness, I don't remember. Well, it seemed like it was a good idea, but I'm just going to do this. Or I tried, but I got too busy. This is different.
Yeah. So who's this for, Michelle? Who is this for? Owners? Is it for the team? Yeah, tell us about who you're targeting in this conference.
Yeah, Conference 2021 is for everyone that's in the staffing and recruiting industry that serves clients, really. There's a track for owners. There is a track for staffing. There's a track for executive search. And so someone who kind of has a hybrid, if you have a hybrid business or you want to get into one industry or another, you are not prohibited from going from one to the other. You can go to your live of what you're doing now. So let's say you're in executive search, but you kind of want to know a little bit more about staffing, or maybe you don't like the word staffing. Maybe it's contract, or maybe you can switch. You can go into that track also. So you can choose what you want to do live, because it's 99% of this is recorded. And then you can go back and listen to what you missed, or if you thought, oh, I got to listen to this speaker again, you can go back and listen to that speaker, and you can take all that content and listen to it over and over and over again.
That's
And so
fantastic.
that's the value.
Yeah.
So someone who's curious.
Michelle, just curious, like, what, I know you've got a lot of great speakers speaking. Who, on a personal level, just to put you on the spot, who are you most excited about hearing?
Well, I have not listened to some of these mix of thought leaders in quite some time. Frankly, I have a hard time picking, because every single one of them has a juicy content that I have to tell you that I'm excited to hear what they've said. They've prepared this just for this event. It's all fresh content. Again, taking the theme of better, stronger, faster. You know, how do you leverage all this? It's really, really hard. Don't put me on the spot.
You have to.
No, because I'm one of those.
Michelle, can I just remind you of that bunch of flowers and that bottle of whiskey I promised to send to you? Not that you're open to bribery and corruption, but can I just remind you that I will be popping that in the post to you?
You know darn well. I am really excited about
so
you. You know that, because I showed you. I've got my dog-eared all of these copies here. Oh,
the books, I'm
moving them around too much. I have earmarked them, and they are at my desk right off to the side every day. And sometimes I stare at them and I say, you know, you should go back in there and do that. And if you do that, you'll be building your desk and it'll be exploding. But see, that's the thing, is it's in a solid form. And then so when you get that stimulation of actually engaging with the person in the content that's being formed in front of you, the audio visual, I think that is key. You need it all. I'm a kinesthetic learner. I think most people learn with multiple streams, not just audio, not just eyes. They also have to do. And so taking what I've learned about, you know, how do I learn best? How do other people learn best? You know, some people are visual and some people are auditory and some people are kinesthetic and they have to see, touch, do. And I think for the most part, most recruiting, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you're a mentor, a teacher, you're a thought leader for many, many years. Not that many, because you still look pretty young to me.
Thank you, Michelle. You know, I like you even more, Michelle.
Hey, age is just a number, and we can all enlist it or change that number, right?
Absolutely. So people are listening to this now, you know, getting excited about it. Where can they go to find out more about the conference?
We hope to see everybody go to www.cspconference.com. So that's cspconference.com. If you go to CSP Conference.
cspconference.com.
CSP stands for California Staffing Professionals Conference.com. But this is open to the whole world. And
that's one of the benefits, isn't it? The fact it is virtual, you know, because we work with clients in mainland Europe, in the UK, in South Africa. So what it means to those guys, they can attend this conference from the comfort of their home. I think the virtual conference is here to stay. Personally, from what we're hearing, it's such a fantastic concept. It gives more people the opportunity to attend a conference such as this. I think it's fantastic.
Well, it is. You can put so much more into the Power Packet, especially if you put it out over a couple of days, where people get really tied up with the virtual concept. Is that, gosh, I'm tired of Zooming all day. I just can't do another Zoom. But if you only had to do it for a couple hours a day and weave it in, then a conference really is kind of invigorating, because you get that daily dose of awesome. And it's like getting a vaccine against the doldrums, as you know.
Yeah.
It's a vaccine. But it's a vaccine that really works, and it works fast. Because look, we just hit June 1st a couple of days ago, according to my calendar. That means we only have 6 more months until we're into the new year. And so, what have you done with your year? You know, you survived this pandemic. If you're here, you survived it. What are you going to do now? Yeah.
And the question I would ask them is, you know, are people in business to survive, or do they want to thrive? Because is there any enjoyment in just surviving?
Not much.
No. and and all of us, whatever business you're in, you're not there. Well, I just want to survive. Hell, we all want to thrive and grow a highly successful business. I thought the title "Bigger, Stronger, Faster" was a great and quite inspiration as well. A great title. It kind of sums up where we are now. I think some recruiters fell by the wayside as the pandemic hit, so to speak. And Drew and I talk to recruiters every day of the week, and and some recruiters say, well, if it wasn't for the pandemic, I would have done X, Y, Z. And I'm really struggling now. But our experiences showed us those that struggled during the pandemic, their businesses were pretty brittle beforehand, and what the pandemic did is it exposed that brittleness within the business. Because I want to be clear, if you're working in hospitality or travel, yeah, things are going to be difficult. But by the same token, if you were working in those sectors, you were free to go and work in other sectors that didn't have those same challenges. But some owners, in those particular niches, would refuse to do that and then say it's a pandemic. And I really want to challenge them on that. Say, is it the pandemic, or is it the fact your business was brittle and you weren't able to pivot, or weren't able to? You chose not to perhaps pivot into another niche. And this title about better, stronger, faster, we've all of us have got to take lessons from what's happened. It was a pandemic this time. You said at the beginning, Michelle, it's a pandemic this time, but there's been previous recessions, and we know intellectually there will be recessions in the future. And unless you've got a strong foundation, the next recession you're gonna struggle again. Would you say that's a pretty fair observation or comment on what's going on right now?
Absolutely. I agree with you 110%. I really do, because we're always looking for excuses, I think, when we don't make it and when we don't quite take it through. And you can use a pandemic or a recession or bad luck or whatever as an excuse. Always, there's always an excuse, but then it's facing reality. And this is where you are a great thought leader, and you say things that hurt sometimes that someone doesn't want to admit. I could do better, and I could learn from this and move forward and do better. And so that's why basically the premise is, look, everything kind of blew up, and we had to survive. First we had to survive. Yeah. Now we have to learn how to get better and stronger and faster. And the thing is too, is with our conference being virtual and being recorded, it is live, but with all of this happening, if someone says, well, I can't join until Thursday of next week, I'm busy, I've got meetings, that's okay, because it is recorded, and they can go back and re-listen to the content. They're definitely going to want to listen to you over and over again, because I am. I'm going to first listen. The way I'm going to do it, and the way I recommend people do, is listen, just engage, listen, and get your questions ready if you're live. And then if you can be in the live event, and if you can't because of time zones or other commitments, then go back and listen again. If you're planning to be in the live meeting, you can ask those questions live. If you aren't, well, then you can still listen and you can still engage with the speaker later. You can try. And if you have problem getting a hold, if there's a question, I will be available to help to try and bridge if there's a burning question. But the purpose of a conference also is to expose people to all these thought leaders, so that if they do need to take it further, I mean, if someone really engages with your content and wants to spend more time with you, then they're going to want to talk to you and get more than just this one event from you. And same thing with every other person that's there, whether it's Danny Cahill or Hannah Pryor or whoever. And you're right about this format being here to stay. It also might be in a situation where it's going to be a hybrid, where people can do a little bit of both in the future.
Yeah, excellent. And we're covering two subjects. We're covering mindset, and then we're going to share with you. We're going to literally give you a blueprint of how you can go, we've got clients that do 80,000 a month, every month, on a regular and consistent basis, and we're literally going to share what these guys are doing. I'm going to pass over to Drew now. I just Drew, from people often say to us, why do we do so much stuff around the mindset and how important is that? What would you say to people that ask that question? Why the stuff around the mindset and what's the difference between an average recruiter thinking and a top biller purely in their thinking?
Yeah, I think. Sorry, to me, did you say?
Yeah, it's Drew. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I think a lot of what you've been talking about. So, I think right at the beginning of the show, you were talking about you need to be willing to adapt, and I think sometimes we use the word ego quite a lot. Sometimes in recruitment or in business, you have a good year, you have a good 2 years, and then which is obviously a good thing, but what it can do is create this ego. And then, you're 20 years in, you speak to a lot of people who aren't willing to change because of their experience. They're sort of relying on their 5, 10, 15 years experience of the way things were back then. And they're like, I've been doing this 15 years, what else can I learn? What more is there to learn? And I think it's, a big part of it is the willingness to seek out information. Like I've only been in the industry 10 years, like building client attraction systems for recruiters, 10 years. So it's not, compared to a lot of people, not a long time at all. But, what we teach clients now compared to what we were doing 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, it's completely different. And I think sometimes you can get caught up in the, just doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same results. And I think you need to be willing to look for the edge, as the theme of the event is. Like, what can I do to get bigger, faster, stronger? Like, what can I, what areas can I improve in? So I think that constant thought process, where can I improve, and be willing to, be the dumbest person in the room for once, not knowing the answers, but then ask questions. What can I take from...
Can I just share something? I want to come back to you, Drew. Because you've just brought up a really good example. As a pandemic hit, what our clients are saying to us, we can't get through to decision makers. They're working from home now. We haven't got their mobile numbers. We can't get through to them, so we can't get appointments. So we've got no business. So that forced us to look at things differently. And one of the things that we'll be covering when we talk about the millionaire desk is that there's a method now you can use without actually picking up the phone, and our clients will get anything between 6 and 10 appointments a week without actually picking up the phone, just by using this method. Now that came about because of the pandemic, because we had to find another way to get through to decision makers, and the old method of picking up the phone and calling somebody wasn't working. That's a perfect example Drew gave there, that what we were doing, crikey, 2 years ago, and what we were coaching clients and how to get business has changed thanks to the pandemic. And now we've got probably half a dozen clients who never pick up the phone to get meetings with hiring managers. They do it all through this method alone. That's one of the benefits of saying we've got to do things differently. Sorry, Drew, I just wanted to share that in terms of some of the power of the mindsets that you were talking about there.
Well, and mindset is everything. And
Absolutely.
You're absolutely right. You decide you're not going to do it. You say, I can't do that. You're probably right. I can't.
Yeah.
And I always say that beginner's luck, because I think a lot of beginner's luck is you didn't know you weren't supposed to do that. You did it anyway. And there's the renegade part, right? So you did it. And then someone said, you really shouldn't have done that. No, I could have get in trouble for that, or I could offend someone for that. Oh gosh,
Yeah. Well, when I first entered the world of recruitment many years ago, the first company I worked for, they only did retains. So I thought everybody did retain. So I would just go along and say, yeah, we do retain. You've got to pay a percentage of the fee up front. It wasn't until many years later people said, well, no, you can work on contingency and not. And I had no idea that went on, but that was my naivety. I asked for retainers and got retainers. But what's interesting now, by the same token, those guys out there that work on contingency who never ask for a retainer because they say that's the only way that you can recruit. And again, as we all said, just open your mind to the realms of possibility. What if a small percentage of the clients that you're working with were prepared to pay you a percentage of the fee up front, which means that you always get paid then for the work that you do? Mm-hmm. Ultimately, you would work less and earn substantially more. But it's just opening up your mind and going, well, that actually, yeah, if other recruiters are doing it, why not me? It's another example of the thinking.
Exactly.
Look,
well,
so I'm just going to give the website again. Please go to www.csp CSPconference.com and just get the details. You've got nothing to just go and get the details and see some of the speakers there. In total, Michelle, I don't know off the top of my head. Do you know how many speakers are speaking?
Oh, well, we have 23 different tracks, and we have 18 speakers on topics.
Wow.
And so there's something for everyone.
Yeah.
We have just a phenomenal group of people, more than you normally would have at a conference. You know, normally it's you can't do this over 2 days. And you can't have this many speakers and this many tracks in most venues. So that's what makes it really special. But you know, that mindset thing you were talking about too is, and being here to stay. The survival versus not surviving and not changing. It brought to mind that what Darwin originally said, which was, it's not survival of the fittest, it's survival. The ones that survive are the ones that adapt. That's, people have like misquoted him so many times, right? So you're helping people adapt. All of our thought leaders at our conference are showing people new ways to adapt, And the other thing is, people want to say, well, it's California, so what do I care? Well, if you're not interested in learning about California laws, that's fine, because there's a track on that. But guess what? Unlike Vegas, I don't know if you're familiar with the term, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. What goes on in California doesn't seem to stay in California. All the new things tend to go everywhere, right? It starts here, and then it's not all good stuff. So some of it's interesting, or it makes it more challenging. Some of it's good stuff, like the Beach Boys.
Excellent. So we're going to be doing a talk about mindset and just the different thinking of the top billers, because it is so important. Just the way that you think, is so important. And then we're going to do another session, as I said, about, we're going to share with you what's solo recruiters are doing to be billing 80,000 a month on a regular and consistent basis. And we'll give examples such as I mentioned there, how some of these guys are getting appointments without actually picking up the phone. I want to repeat this site again, because I just think it's amazing. Just go and have a look. So it's 3 W's, CSPconference.com. C for cat, S for sugar, P for Peter, conference.com. Just go and have a look and see some of the speakers that will be there. And hey, listen, there's a very slim possibility that you find the likes of myself and Drew boring at times. That's okay. You don't have to listen to us. There are some other guys on there that I would strongly recommend. There's some great speakers on there. So please go to CSPconference.com and just go and have a look. There's no cost for doing that, and there's no obligation. And it's a virtual conference, so wherever you are in the world, we're going to be promoting this podcast, this interview all over the place. So it doesn't matter wherever you are. Just go and have a look. So you said earlier, Michelle, from the checking note, this is an annual conference. Is that correct?
Yes, it's an annual event. It's always held in June, except for last year when we got shut down. So this event is now virtual, and people can have access to this content for 30 days too. So again, if someone isn't, the next week doesn't work, I wasn't planning on doing that. That's the beauty of it. You can still get all the benefit of it. Yeah,
excellent. And in terms of some of the subjects being covered, and I've just talked about some things that we'll talk about. You've talked about some of the legal stuff for recruiters. We've talked about the mindset of the top billers. We've talked about some of the physical and practical things that top billers are doing to solo guards are doing 80,000 a month to $1 million a year. Can you give us an example of some of the other things that are on the agenda that are going to be covered? Because my impression was there's something there for everybody.
There is. So again, if someone has an interest in staffing, if they're in staffing, there's a whole track talking about what they need to know in the staffing industry, techniques that work for staffing. If someone is in executive search or in technical search or any kind of direct hire search, again, what is working? And then there are some parts of the speaking events where it covers everyone. It bridges all three. But also the beauty of a conference is that you can network, and the networking is still there. We have a robust platform. We researched this platform for months, that people can do so many things you can't do at a lot of virtual events. You can literally hold in. Yes. Oh, yes. We can spend some time on that too. We have time still.
Yeah.
But you can go and have instant meetings with people. We have a social wall where people can post things on the social wall and engage. Have you had a problem with this, or I'm having a problem with this? Does anyone know anything about this? But if you hear someone ask a question or share something and you want to talk to them, you can go into the virtual meeting room and see if they can meet with you. You can request a meeting with someone. Let's say you've always wanted to meet this person. You've heard of them. You can see if they can meet with you. Now, if someone doesn't want to publicly display their contact information, they don't have to. Of course, most recruiters can be contacted, right? You can be found. We want to be found for the most part, right?
That's right, yeah.
But I mean, this makes it easy. It's just like, well, we shared this event together. I saw you were at this event. I had a question for you. How have you been handling this? Or I met you 10 years ago. I've always wanted to talk to you again. That is something that you maybe couldn't do at a normal face-to-face conference.
Yeah.
Because, you're passing and people are trying to make phone calls between meetings sometimes, and you miss someone. That there's a value there. Lots of interaction. And then we have prizes for people to, we have a leaderboard, a gamification to make it fun.
Yeah, I saw that. Excellent. So not only is it education, you're gonna learn things that are gonna help you grow your business, help you generate more leads. Not only are you gonna discover, the thinking of top pillars. You're also gonna get the opportunity then to network with like-minded individuals. And beauty of this, of course, Michelle, it's guys from all over the world, so recruiters from all over the world. Fantastic.
Yes.
If someone is the website again, sorry.
I was just going to say, so someone wants to make a connection with someone in the States to build a partnership. This is the place to do it. If you're out of the States, that's what I'm so excited. When you said get on early, I'm like, I won't sleep all day. I'll just jump on this anytime you want. I will do this because it's open for everybody, because you can build new partnerships. You're not going to reach out to some stranger. You become a friend here first. You may not cut a deal on this day, at this event, but I don't know about you, but I have made really good connections at a lot of different conferences before, where you meet someone and then you build a relationship and then you share business. And I know there are boards for that. You can do share boards and things like that, splits boards, but it's sometimes kind of uncomfortable and people ghost you. Well, here you can meet people all around the world face to face. You can have your meetings, connect, build a relationship, and then take it offline. And I don't know, I've made thousands and thousands of dollars from connecting with people at conferences. And I'm thrilled that you are part of this. I really, really am.
Thank you. Funny enough, Drew and I, we had a meeting, I'll just say his first name, Steve, yesterday, but I actually met him on the webinar. We worked out 10 years ago. It was the first time I actually met him. And again, it was 10 years ago, and attending webinars was so rare then, but he said something I thought was quite interesting. I then reached out to him on LinkedIn, and we've kept in touch ever since. And, again, we were talking yesterday, and we worked out 10 years ago that we actually met on the webinar. Again, the power of these kind of conferences, that you can do that and split fees and all that sort of thing. So just to repeat again, it's California Staffing Professionals, or CSP. Sorry, just a mental block. CSP.
CSPconference.com.
Conference.com. Yeah, apologies about that. CSPconference.com. Just go and have a look and have a look at some of the speakers. I get that all the speakers won't be right for you, but you don't have to attend all of them. But just go find the ones that you and your team can benefit from. If you've got any blockages or challenges in your business right now, if you want to get your business to the next level, this is the sort of thing that you should be attending. There's going to be some of the world's leading experts there, and this is your chance to reach out to them. because as Michelle's pointed out there, you can reach out to them on the board there and ask them any questions that you want. It's not very often you get an opportunity like this to reach out to people and ask them questions or things that you're stuck on right now. Drew, anything you want to add, thoughts, observations of what's been said so far, buddy?
No observations. Well, I guess final thoughts are just, what I said at the beginning is it's important to look for ways to level up, look for ways to adapt. I think that's the difference between people that plateau, which happens so often in business and in recruitment, and people that keep growing. So yeah, I'd advise you to at least go to the website, have a look, see who's speaking, see the names of the topics people are speaking on. If one resonates with you or a few resonate with you, then I strongly advise you to join. I'm also looking forward to speaking, but there's people I'm looking forward to listening to as well.
Likewise, yeah, fantastic.
Danny Cahill being one of the main ones. Looking forward to his.
That's
absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
We all have our fan clubs, don't we?
That's right. Absolutely right. Yeah. And I want to say to you, Michelle, thank you very much. We asked you to come along and do this. We're kind of keeping the fingers crossed that you're going to say yes. So yeah, just a deep thank you so much for coming along and agreeing to tell us more about the conference, so we can share it with our list and on the different platforms, which we're going to do very shortly. So thank you very much indeed.
Thank you
for joining us. No doubt we'll be speaking over the next few days at this conference. Just before we go, is there anything else you want to share before we wrap up, Michelle?
I just want to share that we really do hope to see you join us at conference, csbconference.com. We're really excited that Terry and Drew are speaking. Their topic is going to be phenomenal. Kind of customizing to this audience. All the speakers are customizing their content. It's going to be fresh. If you've heard the speaker or haven't heard them in a while, you're going to love it. You're actually going to get so much more from this event than you have in the past. Try that mindset thing that you both Drew and Terry talk about. Mindset is everything. When you decide that you're going to make it work, this is a mindset vaccine right here too. This type of an event, because you can turn it off and turn it on. I don't feel like listening to that now. Okay, now I'm ready. And you can really get a lot more out of this than you typically would. And it's just stuffed to the gills. But I think we all need to do to re-engage our minds and to reimagine what we can do, not what we can't do. And it's going to be fantastic. We really hope everyone can take a look at this and join us.
Yeah, excellent. Michelle, thank you very much indeed. Drew, thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today. I was going to say, give that website again, csbconference.com. Just go and have a look and look at the speakers you'd like to listen to and engage with. And I look forward to seeing you then. Until next time, folks, take care, take action, and be relentless. Thank you very much, Michelle.
Thank you. Bye.